able to extract a Jim Beam yeast strain that had been lost for like 100 years.
Really?
And they brought it back for the Beam family.
Oh, yeah.
And they got Lindsay Lohan out of a DUI. I mean, those are the two stories I remember from the tour.
Welcome back, guys, to Whiskey Adventure. We've got another really interesting quest for you guys today. We're still here with Ryan from San Diego Distillery, and we're doing a little bit of a new thing here that we're calling Pours for Pours. As I've said before, I do some experimenting myself. I do blending and finishing and stuff like that. And so I brought 3 of my own bottles, and then Ryan's got 3 of his bottles that he's really excited about. So we're going to give all these a try. Because there's only 6 bottles, or there's 6 bottles. We're only doing 1/4 ounce pours. So this first one here, this is actually an experiment that I did about 1.5 years ago now. So this is a blend of Stranahan's Blue Peak, which is a Solera finished Solera single malt. It's also got Bunnahabhain 12-year Scotch in there, and it's got Kirkland 18-year sherry finish, I believe. And then it was finished in a 2-liter barrel that held a blend of barrel-aged strong ales. So this is super chocolatey.
Wow.
It's lower proof, so it's around 86 proof, I believe. But this is a really special bottle to me because one of the strong ales that went into this barrel was from Wild Barrel, which I don't know if you're familiar with them, but they were a brewery up in San Marcos.
Sure.
And they ended up shutting down. I think it was about 1 year or 2 ago, and they were one of the best breweries, in my opinion, in San Diego. And so I was really sad.
I had some really good sours from there.
Yeah. I mean, that was their biggest thing, but their barrel aging program was also fantastic.
Nice.
So yeah, this whiskey literally cannot be recreated again. So it was a blend of one of their strong ales, and they also had a strong ale from a brewery out in Garland, Texas, called Intrinsic. They're a brewery/barbecue. It was a strong ale that was finished in Jack Daniel barrels.
I've heard something of Intrinsic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what.
Really good barbecue
I have a lot of friends
food
down in Texas.
Oh, really?
What area of Texas?
Garland.
Yeah,
it's like
Dallas.
East, yeah, area? East Dallas. Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I don't know the Sinners Club. Are you familiar with them at all? It's like a Texas-based bourbon group.
Oh, really?
I've done some stuff with them back in the day, some barrel picks and just bottle shares and such. And I want to say somebody down there put me on it. Dude, back to this, straight honey and cherry on the nose.
Yeah.
Like, that's all.
Super chocolatey, too.
Definitely get the chocolate. I want to say maybe a little raisin note on it. Just
that would make sense from the Bunnahabhain. Raisin is a very typical note from a Bunnahabhain 12 for sure.
Yeah, we definitely got honey notes on it.
Yeah, I love this bottle.
Oh,
as you can tell, I have another form of this in a lightly peated version that has some 19-year Lafroig, I think it was, that I put in there. It's changed quite a bit over time. The peat's kind of lessened quite a bit, which is unfortunate, but you can still kind of taste it. Adds a nice little extra layer to it, but...
You know, when the very first nose, I got the peat, but ever since and going back, it's been nothing but like candy. And almost like fig.
Yeah.
I think would definitely be a note I'm getting now.
Yeah. Then shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Silky up front.
Oh, yeah. I feel like this drink's over the proof, too. Oh, God, I love that bottle.
Oh, that is nice. It is, yeah.
Nice long candy finish.
Yeah. Coats the mouth entirely.
Definitely viscous. So when you do these blends, are you rebarreling them at all?
Yeah, so basically I did the blend and then I put into barrel. And so the percentages aren't exact because in a 2-liter barrel, especially out here in San Diego, you can, depending on the season, you can see a ton of loss. So in order to keep that barrel topped off, I'll just keep filling it up once it loses stuff. Because there was one experiment that me and Jeremy did where, I'm not kidding, it was 2 weeks in the barrel and we lost 50%.
Oh yeah.
And you could leave a barrel 50% empty, but I would rather not, So just kind of keep topping it off and checking the flavor profile and seeing how it's changing and stuff like that. So
one of my very first blends that I did at home was a poor man's Pappy.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember how many bottles I did, but it was a 5-gallon barrel, and I filled it. And it was Weller 12 and OWA to the ratios. Uh-huh. And I swear I lost about 90% of that. I was so mad at myself. And I was taking a sample every month, about every 30 days I was taking a sample. Mm-hmm. And then the next thing I knew, I poured a sample and I was I couldn't even fill my Boston Round.
Oh.
I was it's all gone. And it just gotten better and better. And I was it's all gone.
Yeah.
I literally lost 90% of it. It was a full 5-gallon thing full. Uh-huh. And I think when it was done, I had 5 Boston Rounds. Within 6 months, boom, gone.
Damn. Yeah, that's kind of the painful thing. Especially the thing when you're doing a blend is you want to start with stuff that you really enjoy. Which this was the first blend I ever did where I was actually blending stuff that I enjoyed. I originally started blending because I had whiskey that I either got bored of or just wasn't very excited about, and I wanted to try and revive it a little bit. But this is the first one where I actually intentionally picked the bottles that I wanted to put in here. It sucks when the bottles are a bit more expensive because, like you said, the loss is... The Angels take a lot more when there's, ironically, less that they can take from. Right. It's they take the same amount regardless of the barrel size.
Right. Mm-hmm. And this was California in summer, so the heat was affecting it.
Yeah, especially because it was over in Escondido, too. So
brand new barrel for me, had never been used, 5-gallon. But I didn't swell it out first.
Oh.
So, so much of it just got sucked into the wood.
Yeah.
Besides the evaporation and the loss.
Right. I'm working on a new experiment right now. It's going to be a stout and maple finish. Garrison Brothers single barrel cast strength.
Oh, wow.
I'm hoping we don't lose too much, but I have a feeling we're going to because this is a bit of a leaky barrel. If you guys are watching our shorts, you'll be able to see what's going on with that. But I kind of fucked around and found out a little bit with the barrel. I threw it in the oven and toasted it a little bit.
Okay.
Which... as you can imagine, shrunk the wood and everything. So I just put the stout in the other day, so the maple's out. But the maple was dripping a little bit. The stout's now dripping a little bit. There's just sticky stout residue all over the barrel, which I love, by the way. But it should be a good experiment. I'm excited for it.
Hell yeah.
Same here.
So what do you think?
I like it.
Yeah.
Not necessarily my go-to flavor profile, but I'm all about unique.
Right.
This is definitely unique.
Yeah.
And it's got that sweetness to it that I like at the finish.
Yeah.
It lasts. Mm-hmm. I am a fan.
Look at you. A professional.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Get those guys.
My choice now?
Yeah, probably the lowest proof one would probably...
It's easy because that's the one I wanted to do.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, our Bardstown Bourbon Company bourbon. This is our very first release of it.
Okay.
Got these barrels at 3 years old through a barrel broker. And it was funny, we ordered it, it was Bardstown Bourbon. We knew it was Bardstown Bourbon Company coming in. Didn't really dig into it a whole lot of what it was. Ended up being the exact same mash bill that we had just bought 150 barrels of MGP of.
Wow.
21% rye. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure the corn and barley are the same as MGP. I'm pretty sure Bardstown Bourbon Company were like, okay, MGP's killing it with this mash bill. Right. Well, we're going to do our version of it. And the barrels also had Clyde Mays stamped on them. Even though they were marked Bardstown Bourbon Company, it had a Clyde Mays stencil on it. So assuming it was some contract distilled bourbon done for Clyde Mays, that Bardstown, either Clyde Mays didn't take the full lot or whatever. Bardstown sourced that out and became ours. Another thing stamped on the barrel head, it was barreled on Valentine's Day in 2019, February 14th.
Nice.
So I've always kind of had an idea, the first release of that, we're going to bottle it on Valentine's Day. And it's going to be a Valentine's Day bottle.
Nice.
Hence like the black hearts, the red wax, the Love Kentucky bourbon. It's supposed to be like one of those conversation hearts. And then this barrel I picked specifically because I got chocolate covered cherry notes from it.
Nice.
So tasted through every Bardstown one we have here, And this was the one that gave me a can. I was looking for something candy that would remind me of Valentine's Day. So that's why this barrel was picked. Gotcha. We also took it down to 100 proof. I'm kind of aiming for the ladies a little bit. We don't want to give them that 120 proof.
Right.
I think it was 122 out the barrel.
Okay.
And so we're like, we need to at least take it down to 100.
Okay.
And I love the way it turned out.
Okay.
I'll let you all be the judge of it yourself.
So
super excited. At like 5 years, I was like, we were tasting the barrels, and I was hoping at 5 to do a release of it, and it was not where I wanted it to be.
No.
I was like, these are not ready. And I was like, hopefully they get better. And then tried again at 6, and we were just blown away with this one.
So a total of 6 years on?
Real happy where this one's headed. Okay. We bottled this at exactly the day it turned 6 years old.
Oh, wow.
It was barreled and bottled on Valentine's Day. 2019 to 2025 this year.
Nice.
6 years on the dot.
All right. By the way, can I just say I really appreciate that you guys use synthetic corks. I'm a big proponent of synthetic corks. I feel like, yeah, real cork's cool and everything, but you get cork rot, and obviously it's probably better for the environment than synthetic cork is, but just cork rot is just so annoying to deal with as a consumer. And
yeah, I agree.
I'll tell you the number one thing for us on that, and I agree with the synthetic fully. We wanted wood corks and real corks at the beginning. They broke. I'd say 60 to 80% of them broke. Yeah. And we put more glue no matter what we did. Ordered from different companies. They never lasted for us.
Yeah. So we'll see what we got here. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately. Yeah, cherry, a little bit of nuttiness.
Chocolate cherries.
They do some good stuff in Bardstown.
Yeah. I'm actually not too familiar with Bardstown distillate. I haven't had too many Bardstown.
Well, not even just them. Willett, Heaven Hill. They're all in Bardstown, and it's kind of the heart of bourbon country right there.
It smells a little bit like like the top of an ice cream sundae.
Sorry, I dipped in early.
You're totally fine. Drink when you want to drink. Oh yeah, definitely ice cream sundae. Definitely got that cherry, peanuts on top, a little bit of cream on there.
Yeah.
And actually, I think the 100 proof comes across perfectly.
Thank you.
I think it actually drinks probably a little bit above 100 proof, probably closer to like 108.
Big fan of where these barrels are headed.
Yeah.
Have high hopes for these in the coming years.
Nice. Yeah, very nice.
Our oldest MGP turned 9 last year. And some of these at 6 are hitting at every angle those 9s are hitting at.
What's the is there a point you would say with your whiskey out here in San Diego where like a typical age range where it's like it ends up being too much?
We haven't gotten there with our source barrels yet. With our small barrels, they age a lot quicker.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So 7-8 years in those small barrels, which most of those are by now.
Yeah.
They're getting over oaked.
Yeah.
I have some plans. The ones that are over oaked, it's not a waste. I mean, we can blend it with some light whiskey or do some things with it.
Yeah.
Turn it into a blend.
Some
of them have some unique.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are getting to the point where it's almost like chewing on some bark.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's the nice thing about over oaked whiskey, though, is for blending, it's really easy to dial in a nice oaky note onto a whiskey that's maybe missing it.
We brought in another distiller for a while, and he actually recently left us for another unit. But
Bastard.
no, he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. He did a lot for us, and started a lot of things. Distilled a ton of that beer I told you that Bottle Lodge had given us. Helped get a lot of things in order, but he moved on to a bigger deal. He's running the whole thing at a Story House now downtown. Okay. So shout out to Eric. He did a great job for us.
That seems to be the story with master distillers at smaller distilleries.
Right.
So typically, it's a stepping stone.
Work their way up.
Yeah.
He wanted to redistill. He was like, all the ones that were over oaked, he was just going to make a big lot of it and redistill it. I was like, well, hold up before you do that, man. We might play around with it. I hate to lose that 7-8 years age statement. It's like we have plenty of grain we can distill.
Right. Yeah. Crowded Barrel actually did that with a I think it was a 15-year light whiskey.
Oh, wow.
Something funky apparently happened in the barrel that they weren't happy about, so they redistilled it.
Yeah.
And they obviously lost the age statement, but at the same time, where else are you going to get a redistilled 15-year
that's
light
wild.
whiskey? You know, that's,
yeah.
to me, I haven't tried it. They called it Phoenix, I believe, because the whiskey was basically reborn.
Coming back.
That's always something that I thought was interesting, too, is the redistillation of the whiskey after those chemicals. And the whiskey has changed so much, you know. Yeah,
this week, another cool thing we did with the Bardstown, I ordered Kelvin Char 4 barrels.
Really?
We were on the Kelvin wait list for 2 years trying to get some barrels. And I was like, I gotta have Kelvin Char 4. We put in the order. They send us Kelvin Char 3.
Oh.
So I mean, we're splitting hairs. Not what we ordered or paid for, but that's for another. That's for another
calling them out.
Damn it, Kelvin, get your shit together. Nah, but the killer barrels, you know,
Yeah.
Kelvin Char 4, Kelvin in general is all the rave in Kentucky. That's what everybody wants their bourbon done in.
Gotcha.
Independent Stave Company's great too. Those two are really the only two I'd probably order from.
Okay.
Barrel Mill's good too. We get a lot of our staves from them, a lot of our
Okay.
smaller barrels.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to leave anybody out. But ordered these Kelvin Char 4s, got Char 3s in. A lot of the newer stuff that we've done with Eric, he wanted to do the full-size barrels, which I was in the same ballpark with that too. But I recently had one that's just sitting around. We're not distilling anything coming up. So I took one of the Bardstowns and threw it in the Kelvin Char 3
Gotcha.
to do our first double oak project.
Okay.
So that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Dixon Deadman, Kentucky Owl, and now double oaked bourbon. He's a buddy. He lives down the street from my parents in Danville. And I was going to a tasting with him, and he's the one that really got me going. He goes at that 6 to 9 year is really, that's when he does his staving, that's when he does his double oak. Just years and years of experimenting. He's like, that age frame is when you want to reintroduce the new wood.
Gotcha.
He was like 4 or 5, it's too young. 10, 11, 12, it's already should be where it needs to be. If not, maybe finish it. But that's what really got me thinking that, once they hit 6, that's the perfect time. It was like right at his threshold for double barreling.
Gotcha. All right, so we're back. So
speakeasy problems.
So this is the surprise that I was talking about. This is mostly the Kirkland Port Cask Finished 12-year rum, but actually what I did, so this actually comes in at 43% or 86 proof, which the profile was really great, but it was just kind of lacking in the proof point. And so what I did was I took that pick that Jeremy did with you guys. So the San Diego Distillery rum is blended in here to bring that proof up. Okay. And there's also about I want to say a quarter of an ounce to half an ounce of Balcones white rum as well. It just kind of, there was a nice note in there that kind of brought out a little bit of brightness to the rum that I found. So this is my first time. I'm not a big rum guy, so this is my first time blending rum, and this is actually the first bottle of rum I've ever owned. So wow. But yeah, so let me know what you think of it.
It's funny because when I went in for the nose immediately, I was getting ready to say it has some of the same funk that ours does. Yeah, I got that initially.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Specifically that. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's got the fruit, but it's definitely got the funk from from your guys' stuff for sure.
I love that rum funk.
There's levels to it,
Yeah.
There's some where it's like, this literally just tastes like a plastic trash can.
I some where it's like going, this is straight up pure gasoline. So.
Yeah. All right, let's get into it. Got a little bit of a root beeriness to it. It's got that port finish on there.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting that port finish on it.
Yeah.
It's something like a mid-palate, and it took me a second to put a name on it, but it's almost like cherry cough syrup.
Okay.
Mid-palate for me.
Yeah.
Not bad, but it's like almost like that medicinal flavor you get from like Aperol or like some of these that all these like bougie bartenders like to use nowadays.
Yeah, I think that's the port finish on there because that was one of like the core notes in that rum. I'm definitely a lot happier with it now that it's higher proof,
Yeah.
It's got a little
What
bit
is
more body
it
to
proofed at right now? Do you know?
I haven't checked. No, I do have a.
We can check it here in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a hydrometer, but it's like the most basic, like
Oh,
cylinder,
And you got to do math with like the temperature and all that. I've got an app and a little thing. You just feed it through,
Nice.
it'll tell us instantly.
Cool. Hell yeah.
And it does all that calculating for you for the temp and all that.
Right on.
Well, I'll let you know what it is here in a few.
Cool. If I had to guess, I would probably say it's probably around 106 to 110.
Okay. That's even higher than I thought it was probably around 100, but yeah.
I put a pretty decent amount of the hazmat rum in there, so
Gotcha.
I'm anticipating that probably gave it quite a bit of a kick up.
Sure.
You know.
It's good. It's a good blend.
Appreciate it. So what do we have next from you guys?
So we talked about this one a little before. It's one of our house distilled bourbons.
Okay.
51% corn, 49% Vienna malt.
Okay.
So the malt that's usually used to make Vienna lager. 7 years in small barrels.
Oh, wow.
It's done in 5 small barrels that we blended all together.
Okay.
No crafting it. We just blended all 5 barrels together.
Okay.
Did take it down to 110 proof.
Okay.
I believe it was 140 to 150 coming out the barrels.
Jesus, that's crazy.
We do get some jumps in proof out here with this heat in Spring Valley for sure.
So this is coming in at 110 proof, and that's like right up my alley as far as proof goes. I'm really lately I'm trying to stick around the 94 to like 116 probably. Once you start getting up there, I mean I don't mind higher proof stuff. It's just like, you know, sometimes you don't want to get kicked in the face when you're drinking whiskey. So
I used to be huge high proof cask drink.
Yeah.
The more, and it could have been forced on me. Just learning this distribution game, trying to figure out that the most people want it proof down, and just kind of getting myself trained like that. But I find myself closer to 100 nowadays in what I want to sell on.
It's just a nice proof range, you know. It's got the bite, but it doesn't have the kick. Can definitely smell the high malt on this for sure. It's got a very like chocolate oatmeal-y note.
Mm-hmm. I get a little bit of like plum.
Okay, I can see that.
And then like the tiniest of licorice.
Okay.
On the nose right now.
Like red licorice or black licorice?
I don't know. It's almost like a blend of the two.
Okay.
Well, I think more in the lines of black licorice in my nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like the plum kind of fruits there for me too.
Yeah,
so that's why I tend to say it's like kind of both.
So what I think it is, I think it's black licorice, but if you're able to take out like the, you know, when you have like a really strong black licorice and it's like the initial like second, it was like, oh, this is nice, and then it's like, oh my god, what the hell?
Right.
It's like that initial 1 second
without the
off-putting
note.
Exactly. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, that's really nice.
That is.
So different from the Old Elk high malt too.
Really?
You get a lot more chocolate and oatmeal in this, for sure. The Old Elk one is a lot more like melon and cucumber and stuff like that. This is really nice. I feel like this is like a breakfast whiskey for sure.
Yeah.
Moving on, though, we've got the last one here, and full disclosure, I don't know if you're going to like this at all. I don't know how I feel about Texas whiskey. I know you're more of a bourbon guy than you are a single malt guy.
Not always a fan, just to put it out there.
Yeah, so
I know you said you're a Texas whiskey guy.
Yeah, be totally honest.
Texas whiskey, he's converted me over to Texas whiskey.
Nice.
Yeah. I will say a lot of the hate that Balcones gets, I find, is because of their core lineup of like their red label bourbon and stuff like that. Most of the time when I share their single malts with people, they end up liking them a bit more. And Rowdy's very picky, so he doesn't like anything really, but this is a blend of Balcones bottles, so it's technically still a single malt whiskey. But what I was going for here was I'm a really big fan of Redbreast 27, and so I call this my Balcones 27 blend. because it's got that distinct grapefruit note that Redbreast 27 has in it. This also has a port finished American single malt that they do in there. That was a single barrel, so you'll get that port finish on there as well. So, if you don't like Texas whiskey and you don't like port, you're probably not going to like this. But
I do like port.
Okay.
I drink a little port.
Yeah. So there's definitely, I mean, you're combining funk there for sure with port and Texas whiskey, but
I get the port on the nose.
And this is actually, fun fact, is actually batch 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first batch was a little less port influence, but the second go around ended up doing a little bit more port. Like this, it's kind of a little bit more interesting, an extra layer.
Yeah, definitely that port is coming through compared to batch 1.
Yeah.
On there, but you still have that grapefruit notes that come in.
Mm. Yeah, these mini blends really just make it tough on the nose.
I'm getting like it's faint, but like a creaminess, like a vanilla, like
oh yeah,
yeah, I get some vanilla cream on it.
Like almost like vanilla frosting.
Yeah,
but like very faint.
Mm-hmm. Just like on the top of the nose. Yeah, it's like the vanilla and then the grapefruit kicks in like almost immediately after. All right, let's get into it.
Cheers. Port's definitely, it comes on the finish for me strong.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Really strong port.
And they coated me immediately, like just.
Yeah.
Grapefruit's there, but that port kind of overwhelms it.
Think so?
To an extent. I mean, it's there. I mean, it's. I remember the first batch you did with this one on there it was a lot more grapefruit.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really digging that port note at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a blend of, I think, 3 different single barrels. I don't know if I'll be able to make another batch. I think I might have enough for maybe half a bottle. I mean, that's kind of the difficulty when it comes to blending single barrel bottles is once they're gone, that's all you got,
Right.
So, trying to cherish this one a little bit more. I sampled out the first batch quite a bit.
I like it a lot. I think it's my favorite of the 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Appreciate that. I'm glad. That means, that considering this would, in my opinion, be the most controversial one.
Right.
That makes me happy. So the last one we got here from you, what do we got?
Yeah,
here?
this is one of our fun ones. Experimental. Okay. It's one of our beer distillates.
Okay.
We call it Nuts and Beavers.
How does this?
So a lot of people have a lot of fun with that name. It's just a pour spout.
Okay.
Yeah. It is distilled from Belching Beaver Peanut Butter Stout.
Okay.
Which you all are probably familiar with.
The standard peanut butter stout?
The standard peanut butter stout. It's in almost every bar in San Diego, just about. Highly distributed. You see it all over the place.
Yeah.
A lot of people that don't like stouts drink this beer, I've noticed.
So I will preface this one with saying that I'm not a huge fan of their peanut butter stout. I like the first sip of it, and then I acclimate to the peanut butter note really quickly, and it just kind of ends up tasting like a really bland stout. So I have no idea how this is. I think I've had this before, but it's been so long that I can't really remember how it went. But this is coming in at 121 proof.
It's up there. It's another one we had 5-6 barrels of. I think 5, and we blended it all together.
Okay.
And it might even have been a different barrel. I think one of them was a French oak.
Oh,
before
really?
were just regular American oak barrels.
Okay. I will say though, their barrel picking that they do for whiskey, they do a really great job. So, and they do have really good brewery specific releases, but those are their things that I tend to gravitate more towards.
Gotcha. I was really excited about this one because not only with the tie into the Belching Beaver, which is just so highly distributed here in San Diego,
right?
But Screwball being from San Diego, the peanut butter fake whiskey.
Yeah. No, this is definitely...
That was a shot at the OB Noodle House.
Okay.
That's where Screwball came from. It was a shot there at the restaurant. And then they tried to they made a shelf-stable version of it. Because the one they used there is dairy. And so it wouldn't last on the shelf.
Gotcha.
It's a little bit different than what they give you there traditionally as their shot. But I just knew San Diego had this peanut butter blow up because of Screwball. And I thought this was a better version of that.
Okay.
But then not only just peanut butter, it really, really smacks me in the face with ballpark peanuts.
It is very much like dry peanut.
Right.
But I'm actually, weirdly enough, I'm getting a little bit of like a dried pepper.
Yeah.
Even before you even mentioned the ballpark peanuts on there, I took a sniff of it going, this brings back some nostalgia games going to the Padre games, the peanuts there.
Exactly. That's what I get from it. And when we dumped these barrels, this whole place just reeked of peanuts. Not necessarily peanut butter, but peanuts. Fresh roasted, like you said, ballpark, Padres game. Peanuts.
Yeah, Padres game at the Q.
Yep. It is actually really crazy how much that, after being distilled, that peanut note still
that blew me away how much of that flavor came through.
Like, it might be more impactful on this than the actual beer.
And I wasn't here when this was distilled. This was before my time at the distillery.
Oh, really?
But according to Trent, who distilled it, coming off the still, it was there, but it was real, real faint. He said the oak is what really brought it back out.
Really?
Yeah. Which blows me away. It's like just the flavors and how does the wood bring that back out?
Yeah.
But apparently it happened.
I mean, I could see how oak and peanut would be like a slightly adjacent flavor profile. You know? I don't know how to explain it, but it's like
beam that gives off some of the beam products that give off the roasted ballpark peanuts.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think there was any peanut or salt or any flavoring added to that, so it's happened before just off the oak without the beer distillate.
Yeah.
But those 5 barrels, man, they had the whole place smelling like a peanut factory.
Oh, wow.
Got a little kick to it.
Yeah, it does have a little.
Every bit of that 121.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is one that, like, we bottled it at 121. Like, honestly, we probably could have taken it down a little bit. I think, like, don't be scared to add a little water to it. It's going to open it up and calm it down a little bit. That's actually what I was going to do,
is I was going to pour some water into it.
I really think this would have been more approachable to the masses if we had proofed it down 90 to 100. It's still good. I love it where it is, but I think more people would appreciate it at that lower proof.
Yeah,
probably would. Yeah.
The finish is super long too.
I mean, it just came straight up peanut butter on that finish.
Yeah.
Or that one over there with the Jif label on the shelf. So one thing, when we dumped it, the whole place was just smelling like a peanut factory. And I've said that like 10 times. But when these barrels, I was like, man, we can't just let these barrels go to waste. Like, it's just putting off something good. So these newly created peanut liquor barrels that we had created from this distillate, I then took an MGP barrel and filled all 5 of those mini barrels with an MGP barrel. And so now I have a peanut butter finished MGP bourbon.
Nice.
I couldn't let those barrels go to waste, man. They were, it was, the aroma coming from was just insane.
There's a little bit of, it's on the finish for the palate, but it's on the top of the nose. It's a little bit of a spiky, I'm not really sure what it is, but there's a little bit of a spikiness there.
I definitely get like the maltiness from beer there too.
It's like a very, it smells like dusty oak. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Like you walked into a library that hasn't been, like, no one's been there for like 10 years. If you add, I added quite a bit of water to it too. It pretty much, the profile doesn't change at all.
But the intensity of the notes did scale back a bit.
They did.
Made it more palatable.
Yeah.
Probably especially for an everyday drinker.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, especially if you made like a cocktail of this, probably, I think that would be where it would really shine. I think that that dusty library note definitely dialed down to a lot more of an approachable area. Wasn't making me like go like this, you know.
We've done a couple cocktails with it. We do a Black Manhattan with our Amaro in this. And then usually when we're doing a cocktail with it, it'll be a real small pour of this, like half ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce tops.
Yeah.
And then you'll still mix in another bourbon.
Yeah. This definitely
but just needs a touch to get that nuttiness through the drink.
It gives me the impression that this is, again, like Amberana or Peat, where it feels like a very small amount of this goes a long way.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, that is definitely an interesting one to be sure I think I'll probably give it to this one.
To our bourbon, nice.
Yeah, to the high malt. Just because that oatmeal-y, chocolatey note, that's a note that I really, really enjoy.
Very cool.
It definitely comes across as a little bit crafty, but again, that kind of is in the same line as the chocolate and oatmeal note. I typically consider the crafty note kind of in the same line as that.
Sure.
And I like that. By no means they're all really good. But,
Thank you.
But yeah, I'm the 51.49. I mean, I don't know if I've seen the 35% malted barley from the Old Elk was the highest barley bourbon I've seen. So this is a new level, you know.
For me, the favorite one I'm actually liking is this one right here, the
Bardstown.
Bardstown. Yeah.
Okay.
That one is the chocolate cherry notes on it is like going,
Yeah.
It just hit right on my palate. Hit really nice. Mm-hmm. Good proof. On there, probably for me, number 2 might be this one right here.
Okay.
But it's really close with this one.
Okay.
Only because of the uniqueness on the nuts and beaver.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite of the 3?
Man, it's like picking kids over here. I appreciate all 3 and love all 3. I'd say if I had to pick, probably the nuts and beavers.
Really? Okay.
Just because of the uniqueness.
Yeah.
I really, really like that.
I mean, I still taste it.
I really, really like that peanut profile. Mm-hmm. But I can make an argument for any of them. Mm-hmm. I really love the Bardstown. I really love our bourbon. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if I had splitting hairs, but I think the uniqueness is what really does it for me.
Yeah. I think what would be interesting if you guys blend maybe like some blue corn whiskey was blended in there to kick the sweetness up a little bit.
Yeah.
To give it more of like an actual like peanut butter type note.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you've ever had it, but Costco sells this like powdered peanut butter that you're supposed to mix with water or some crap like that.
We actually made some peanut butter shots with that.
Really?
In this.
Yeah. My mom got us that when we were kids, and we were like, what the hell is this? This is not peanut butter at all. It kind of reminds me of that, where it's a very dry peanut flavor, and to get to that like Jif level of sweetness, just having a little bit more, you know, something more sweeter and sugary base, I think that would probably elevate it a little bit more. But again, that's why I think it would be excellent in a cocktail. You know, maybe an old fashioned would really bring that out. Do you got anything else?
I was saying excellent selection for today on that. Like I said, I like out of yours. I like this one right here the best.
Okay.
Followed up by your Balcones blend.
Right.
The rum one I wasn't really too big on. It just I don't know. It's probably me. I don't drink rum that often.
Right. You said you're not a big rum guy.
No, not really. Like I said, I've always found it to be too sweet for my palate. But then again, kind of feel like a bit of a hypocrite because I like amber finished bourbons.
No, yeah, but you're a big like Speyside Scotch and whatnot too. Yeah. Speyside and Highland. Yeah.
But but for me, I find those have a bit more of a fruity profile to them. Yeah. Compared to ultra sweet.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thanks for sticking around. I have no idea how long that was. Probably another 30-minute video if I had to guess. Oh, 25? we're gonna have to do some cutting down for sure. But,
yeah, there was that interruption in there.
If you stuck around for the whole thing, we appreciate it. We'll
catch you guys next time.
Cheers.